people, welcome back to the channel. I'm Amy, the problem child. Welcome back. If you're new, welcome to the channel. Right, what we're going to have a look at today is a video of some Muslim man who thinks, and it's probably backed up by the way he actually basically totally got away with what he was doing, and what he thinks that he was doing is okay. And it's going to show obviously how back to front the people in the government who are completely, they're not looking out for us. They don't like us. They like certain other demographics. So let's get into the clip.
Thank you for joining us. Two stories I want to talk to you about. Jimmy Kimmel in a few moments. But first up, let's talk about something happening here. And this is just this extraordinary situation of a man violently attacking another man in the street on camera with a bread knife and not getting a single day behind bars. Tell us about this case and tell us what happened.
Yeah, Musa Kadri is a Muslim man who lives in London, has done for quite a while. He saw late last year another man called Hamid Koskan burning a Quran.
That is a effing massive bread knife.
As we say, he was perfectly entitled to do outside.
Yes, we are perfectly entitled to do. Like, you know, when it's the other way around and they're perfectly entitled to burn our Bible. Nothing gets said then, though. Nah, no. It's all right, nothing. Yeah. Nothing happens. It's just a book, as they say.
At the Turkish consulate.
We haven't got a blasphemy law yet.
Well,
no, we haven't got blasphemy law yet. But when it's the other way around, there's consequences.
A point that somebody could make to our Prime Minister, perhaps. Yeah. But Musa Kadri saw this, shouted at him, went back into his own house, which was nearby. He got a large bread knife.
Very large.
He came back out of his house over to Hamid Koskan, shouted and swore, saying, "I'm going to kill you," and then repeatedly slashed Hamid Koskan with that knife, punched him, waited until he was on the floor, kicked him again, slashed him again until he was distracted by a couple of bystanders who said, "Stop it, what are you doing?"
Thank goodness.
So in other words, it was completely premeditated. He had the time to not do this. He walked back into his flat, got the biggest fucking knife that he could find, came back out, and he's attempted to murder this fella. He slashed at him. You know, when you're slashing at someone with a knife, what are you attempting to do? So, but we'll see. We'll carry on with the clip. Wonder what happens.
His motive? This man offended my religion. Now, he could have been charged with perhaps attempted murder, you might think.
Yes, he could have been charged with attempted murder, but our judicial system, it's a load of crap. And it doesn't favour us. It favours them. We know who them are.
Stabbing someone, slashing at them with a knife.
While saying, "I'm going to kill you." Bit of a clue, I would have thought.
Yeah. Slashing at someone with a knife while saying, "I'm going to kill you." I'd say that's a massive clue. Donuts.
He could have been charged with ABH. Hamid Koskan was severely injured by this attack. He could have been charged with a fray. He wasn't. He was charged with common assault.
Yeah, you heard that right. He was charged with common assault. I could walk outside and just push somebody in the street. That's common assault. Not coming at them with a big ass bread knife, slashing at them. Oh my God. Yeah. That's not common assault. So why was he charged with that?
The most
common assault is someone punching someone in a pub.
In fact, you don't even need to punch them. You just need to cause a bit of fear to them. If I square up to you walking down the street on a Saturday night, I should be expected to be charged with common assault.
There we go. It takes very, very, very little to be charged with common assault.
There was a bizarre, inexplicable decision to charge this man with the least serious imaginable offence. Meanwhile, Hamid Koskan, who was prosecuted for burning his own copy of the Quran, well, he was prosecuted by Junior Treasury Counsel, the most senior barristers in the country that are meant to be prosecuting murders at the Old Bailey. No, they prosecuted him for a hate crime. By the way, it was never suggested in court that this man had done it for a hateful reason, even though he said the reason he was doing it was to stand up for his religion and didn't like Hamid Koskan's atheism. This was blatant, observable, undeniable, inescapable two-tier justice.
Couldn't have put it better myself. Two-tier justice.
There's no other word for it.
No.
And that's even before you get to the fact that Lucy Connolly spent over a year in prison for an ill-judged but swiftly deleted tweet. Even before you get to those kind of imbalances, the treatment of these two men tells you everything you need to know about the way that the British state operates.
Exactly.
Yeah, it operates in their favour, not ours. Not ours anymore. In their favour. We can all see where this is headed.
So even in the one incident, the idea that someone burning their own copy of a book, whatever book it is, I don't want people to burn any books, least of all someone else's religious text, but he was someone I think he was from Turkey, wasn't he, Kaskan? He's actually from Turkey himself. He's got every right to do a political protest outside the embassy. That is literally one of the most fundamental rights we've got in this country. And the idea...
Not anymore. They are all slowly slipping away.
That a man, and he went off to get the knife. He went on. I mean, there was clear intent. It is absolutely extraordinary. Again, the choice of charges and the sentencing is so clear cut, and we are constantly told there isn't two-tier justice. But what on earth would make a judge think? And we do see case after case after case after case of people who commit crimes, blatant, obvious crimes. There's no he said, she said. It's on camera. If those watching on YouTube, we've been able to see those images. You can go back and have a look on our YouTube page to see them. It's on camera. It is blatantly obvious what happens. It is a miracle that someone didn't die. It is an absolute miracle. And the idea that this man doesn't serve a day behind bars can be nothing other than political, because there's no other reason why a judge would allow that, surely.
Yeah, you think so, wouldn't you? Surely not. Comes out slashing with that massive bread knife, and he doesn't serve a day in jail. So what does that say to all the others?
Well, unless, I don't think this possibly was the intention, but it's certainly the effect that there is a message being sent to people that if you are a Muslim and you are offended by somebody attacking, denigrating, in some way disrespecting your religion, you can premeditatedly go and get a knife, threaten to stab someone, attack them, and you won't spend a day in prison.
Yeah.
It's saying you can do exactly what you want to do with no repercussions.
As far as I'm concerned, I don't feel safe on the streets of this country.
If that is the case, but especially...
No, not many people do anymore.
actually, again, that doesn't seem to be the case for any other religion or anyone else. And we have got, the defence by the Prime Minister at PMQ some months ago, the idea of there being a blasphemy law. We've had as Donald Trump is pointing out, the Home Secretary Shabana Mahmood, defending Sharia law as an alternative law in our land. We're constantly told diversity, but at the end of the day, we've only got one law in the land. The law does not make it an offence to commit blasphemy. It's not an offence, but it absolutely does seem to think that there is an offence of viciously attacking someone with a knife because you don't agree with something they've said.
Oh, no, Julia, but no. If you're of a certain demographic, it's okay. In this country, you get away with it. Like they get away with everything else.
I would have thought that was pretty darn clear-cut for anyone.
Yeah, and I just don't think that anybody doubts for a minute that if the shoe was on the other foot, so to speak, and if this was a far-right individual...
Far-right thuggery...
that picked up a knife and went up to a pro-Muslim stand in a town centre and repeatedly stabbed at them, slashed at them with a knife he'd brought to the scene especially, shouting, "I'm going to kill you." Does anybody in this country?
Well, no, not many in this country do. Anyway, I was just back with another little video today. If you could do me a favour and hit the like button, please. Subscribe if you're not already. And leave a little comment below. What do you think should have happened to that fella who premeditatively went back into his house, all angry, came back out, slashed, stabbed, injured this man? Do you think he should have been charged with common assault? If not, what do you think he should have been charged with? Let me know in the comments, please, guys. Thank you for watching again, if you're still here. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.